Hi everybody, I've shown you Starfight, I've told you that I'm using AI very heavily to code it, and I've told you that it's written in Java. I think that's all of my dirty secrets. So in this video, I'd like to show you the early days of Starfight, how we started from scratch, we being me and Claude, and got it to sort of its initial prototype version. The first thing I did was write this prompt file where I described basically what the game is, how the graphics look, how the damage model works with cubes, smashing into each other and blowing up into fragments and things like that. At the bottom of the prompt, I had the instructions for the agent, where I basically asked Claude to write out a plan that's broken into phases. Each phase should result in an application that I can run and see progress. The more incremental the plan, the better. When I gave Claude that prompt, it wrote this plan file, which has some context, lays out the basic directory structure and files in the project, talks about the entity component system architecture that we're using, and it's pretty common in video games. Claude also broke the project into phases, which you can see here. Bootstrapping it, just getting something up and working, rendering a static ship, and so on. Let's quickly go through and see what these early phases looked like. I'm not going to show you every phase because some of the phases are boring. Here's phase 1, a black window with nothing going on. It's about as basic as you can get. By phase 4, we've got a very basic ship, a block, and we can move it around using the keyboard and mouse. Phase 7 is where things start to get interesting. Now our ship is actually beginning to look like a ship. I can rotate it around and you see the lighting change as it moves relative to the light source. To describe this ship to Claude, I came up with this text file format called a ship file, which is just layers of cubes going from the bottom of the ship to the very top. And you can sort of see, if you look at this real fast, that it's kind of a dart-shaped thing with fins on the sides. By phase 9, we've got a sense of motion by giving the world a background that rotates as the ship rotates. We've also got space dust. Perhaps you can see these little particles that go floating by when I move the ship. Phase 11 further enhances the sense of motion by introducing camera lag. Now when I move the ship, the camera lags a little bit behind so you can actually see the ship moving relative to the camera. By phase 13, we've got a basic instrument panel. In the middle is a radar. Enemy ships show up as red dots. Asteroids are brown. To the left of that, we've got the ship's current position, which changes as I move around. And the circle on the left is the velocity indicator, which shows the ship's velocity relative to its heading. By phase 15, we've got collision detection and the basic damage model. If I crash into this ship in front of me, the system will detect the collision and some of the cubes will be damaged or destroyed. Well, that's enough for one video. The game still wasn't very exciting at this point, but at least we were making tangible progress. Let me know what you thought of this video. Was it interesting? Too boring? Too long? Leave your feedback in the comments. Thanks for watching.